History is riddled with violence. In the last few weeks, considering the conflicts going on in the world, I thought about a thought experiment proposed by Emil Durkheim, who was a pioneer in social science. In the early 19th century, he ran a thought experiment in one of his books. What if there were no crime? What if a society where everyone was perfectly respectful and non-violent, and everyone was equal, existed? What if no one lied or hurt each other? What if corruption did not exist? What would happen? Would conflict cease? Would stress evaporate? Durkheim said no. In fact, the opposite would happen. He suggested that the more comfortable and ethical a society became, the more that small indiscretions would become magnified in our minds. If everyone stopped hurting each other, we wouldn't necessarily feel good about it. We'd just get equally upset about the more minor stuff. The question of whether crime can be considered a normal or pathological phenomena in a society has been a topic of intense debate among sociologists. Durkheim challenged the prevailing notion that crime was unequivocally pathological. The word pathological means sickness, or simply something abnormal and unacceptable. Durkheim argued that the classification of crime as purely pathological overlooks the intricate complexities of social phenomena. He emphasized the difficulty of distinguishing between normal and abnormal behavior in societies, particularly due to the ever-changing nature of human interactions. Unlike biological phenomena, social facts are multifaceted and constantly evolving, making it challenging to apply rigid categorizations. One fundamental aspect of Durkheim's argument was the universal presence of crime across different societies. He pointed out that crime is not confined to specific types of societies, but is rather a universal occurrence. While the forms of criminal behavior may vary, the essence of crime persists throughout different social structures and historical periods. Even in countries like Norway and Denmark, with low corruption and a small population, violent crime is still present. This consistency challenges the notion of crime as something abnormal and raises the question about its inherent normality in human societies. Durkheim even went as far to argue that crime is actually essential for the very fabric of society. He claimed that crime is not a mere deviation, but a necessary element of social life. To illustrate this, he pointed out that for a society to be entirely free of crime, collective agreement against criminal behavior would need to be universally present in every individual. Such uniformity is unattainable due to the inherent diversity among individuals and their values and beliefs, which makes it impossible to eradicate crime entirely. Let us now look at 3 examples where he shows why the occurrence of crime has some positive functions for a society. Social regulation. Crime serves as a reference point for collective values. When a criminal act is committed, societal norms are violated. This highlights the boundaries of acceptable behavior. In this sense, crime acts as a social mirror, reflecting the prevailing moral values and guiding the evolution of societal norms. By seeing which acts are punished by society, people get a more precise idea of the actions that are considered acceptable. Courts and the media are the 2 primary institutions that sends these signals to the population to warn people of what acts they should refrain from pursuing. Social integration. A second function of crime is to strengthen social bonds. For example, when particularly horrific crimes have been committed, the whole community joins together in outrage, and the sense of belonging to a community is therefore strengthened. A precise example of this is the 9/11 attacks, when commercial airplanes, controlled by terrorists, targeted the Twin Towers in New York. The attack killed over 3,000 people, and in the aftermath, the United States citizens felt a stronger feeling of community as a consequence. This example shows how crime may aid in social integration within a society, thus providing a positive function, social change. The third and last function is when an action is performed by the criminals, they provide a constant test to the boundaries of permitted action. When the law is clearly out of step with the feelings and values of the majority, legal reform is necessary. The infamous Prohibition era in the 1920s highlights this function. The production, sale, and transportation of alcohol was forbidden in this time period in the United States. People were not happy about it, however, and many people saw no other choice than to break the rules. Over time, the United States government had to adjust the laws regarding alcohol, resulting in legalizing it again. Criminals therefore perform a crucial service in helping the law to reflect the wishes of the population and legitimizing social change. To summarize, Durkheim argued that crime is an inevitable and normal aspect of social life. He pointed out that crime is present in all societies. Crime is inevitable because not every member of society can be equally committed to the collective sentiments, which is the shared values and moral beliefs of a society. Since individuals are exposed to different influences in their upbringing, it is impossible for them all to be alike, and hence some people will inevitably break the law. Durkheim also theorized that deviance would still exist in a society of saints, as he called it, populated by perfect individuals. In this hypothetical perfect society, the general standards of behavior would be so high that the slightest slip would be regarded as a serious offense. Thus, even the individual who simply shows a bad taste in their artistic preferences, or someone who is merely impolite, would trigger intense anger. I appreciate your time. If you want to support this channel, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you in the next video.